The unique fishhook barrel cactus gets its name from the distinctive hooked spines that cover its thick, ribbed stems. But the fishhook barrel cactus is much more than just a prickly plant. It's an important part of the desert ecosystem with a rich cultural history. This cactus is native to the Sonoran and Chihuahuan deserts of the southwestern United States and northern Mexico, where it can be found growing in rocky or sandy soils. One of the most striking features of the fishhook barrel cactus is its bright red or orange flowers, which bloom in the spring and summer months. These flowers are a favorite of many desert pollinators, including bees and hummingbirds. The yellow fruit is mainly what is harvested, since it is much easier to process and will be the main focus of this video. As always, make sure you're harvesting responsibly and with respect for the plant and the environment. Our harvesting guide, Jonah, talks about the harvesting practices and processing in this video. Hey everyone, it's Kimberly, your go-to real estate agent here in Tucson, Arizona, and today we're talking about the abundant Tucson fishhook barrel cactus. But first, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons to follow along with Tucson news and learn more about things to do and see and know about this city, my hometown. And when you're ready to buy or sell a Tucson home, all my contact information is in the description below each video on this channel. Please check out any of the other hundreds of Tucson and real estate videos on this channel after this one. Today we followed our harvesting guide Jonah Ivy as he educated the University of Arizona students about the proper harvesting techniques and strategies in order to utilize this abundant food source just outside of most of our doorsteps. Before you do any harvesting, make sure you're harvesting or picking fruit according to any guidelines or statutes that have been put in place by federal, state, or local authorities. If you're planning on adding water harvesting systems or need consultation on landscaping for desert edibles on your property, we have listed Jonah's contact information in the description below this video. He's an amazing community resource and we hope he inspires you.
If we just take a couple minutes out of our day when we notice that things are harvestable around us, it's revolutionary. It is, in my opinion, the only option we have, or at least in 10, 15 years it might be. They grow new ones from the inside, and as it kind of gets mature, the pods kind of fall off. It's easiest to kind of wiggle it a little and break it sideways like that rather than like that. Yeah, and just be careful for those thorns. For something like this, like 8 to 10 is probably good enough. This one to me, for some reason, looks like it's a little more dehydrated, and there's all these bugs that are living on it. Sometimes they use this as a home. If you look closely at the top here, or maybe on some of the sides, you'll see a whole bunch of bugs. Our natural reaction is ew, because everything in our whole society, the way we build our buildings, the way we design our lifestyles, is designed to separate us from the natural systems around us. So of course it's going to be you, right? But the rest of nature is like oils and chemicals. Ew! Ooh, who did that? Why did they do that? It's a very explainable and justifiable reaction. This one doesn't look like it wants to be harvested yet. Still has a little bit of green on it. All of them do have a little. Good on you for waiting. If you don't know something when you're harvesting food, just err on the side of safety and don't harvest it. So Natalie thought there was a fungus on this because all that red and that white scabbing, but that's actually just from damage to it, from like something nicking it or whatever, and it scabs over. But you can chew right through it, or you can cook it out. Look at this wonderful mulch I'm standing on. My foot just sinks into the soil. Love that. That's a good sign. So for the barrel cactus fruit, there's ways, just like whatever you traditionally do to make something less fibrous, but it's mucinogenic. It has like, it's a little slimy. You could also dice it up, the fruit really small, so then you break the fibers up that way. You have to actually separate out the seeds if you don't want. You can eat them just how they are, but you don't digest them unless they're broken up. So they're just like not really adding much. Yeah, they're just texturate that. With the barrel cactus fruit, we're all going to be cutting it up. So you'll notice it kind of like looks like one color and then gets to another color. About right in the middle is where you want to cut it. So you scoop all the seeds out of both sides, but let's just dice up the right side, leave the tops, because the tops are really fibrous and a little bit more difficult to process. Kind of find that middle spot in there. We'll say like right here. And I'm just going to kind of, and then just scoop the seeds out. So we'll just put all the seeds into this bowl. I'm gonna wash these and bake them. I'm gonna bake them on very low, like 115 degrees for 15 minutes. I'm really just trying to dry them out and make them a little bit crunchy. So when I mash them, they break down really easy into like flour. The reason I had you cut it in half, and this part's a lot more fibrous than this part. So this part we can dice up and put all the diced up pieces into the bowl. Whereas this part, in order to harvest it, what we'd have to do is go like vertically and kind of like skin just the juice off. Before we cut them up, let's wash them. The seeds, we're gonna mill them up. We're gonna grind them up once we bake them, and we're gonna use it as a flour for cookies. And it just makes the cookies much more like filling and, you know, creamy and, you know, heavier.
After the harvest, my husband and daughter picked up the barrel cactus fruit around our property and made a simple marmalade. We also roasted the seeds and then ground them up with our magic bullet. We use the seed powder in small portions for recipes that require flour, usually no more than 25% of the flour needed for the recipe. We also added the powder to smoothies for a natural plant protein supplement. There are quite a few things you can do with this fruit if you get creative. There are so many other desert plants to harvest and try in our Sonoran Desert. We found a great book called Sonoran Desert Food Plants that serves as a guide on how to access the bounty of nature at our doorsteps, and the link to that book is in the description below this video. I hope you've learned a little bit about how you can harvest and use one of our most abundant native desert plants. As always, consult your doctor before consuming any plants. For example, the barrel cactus fruit may be high in oxalates, which should be avoided in those with prior history of kidney stones. Many homes in Tucson have several barrel cactus plants growing naturally in the landscape. We counted 14 on our property alone. But speaking of properties, if you're interested in buying or selling a home here in Tucson, Arizona, I would love to help you out. All my contact information is in the description below each video on the channel. There are hundreds of other videos on this channel about things to do and see and know about this city, my hometown. Comment below with your favorite desert edibles, and please consider showing the channel some love by liking and subscribing on your way out the door. Check out this next video on watershed management to learn how to help create healthy soils so that your native edibles can thrive in Tucson, Arizona. I really appreciate you hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next Tucson video.